All right, so I'm gonna be showing you how to do the fold for our Starburst design that we used during our watercolor tissue paper tie-dye unit. I love the results from this. They're so exciting to see when you guys are done with them and you have the ability to finally unfold them and see what you've created. So these are some examples completed this year by students. Each one is different and unique. You can clearly see the similarities as far as the folding goes, and that is because we all use the same technique to create these examples. So I'm just going to go through and show you some of the examples that students were able to successfully make this year. They're very light and delicate. You can see the different colors, different personalities coming through in the selection of colors each student used. But again, we all use the same folding technique. Okay, so this is what I'm about to show you. All right, so I'm about to show you how to do our first fold in our watercolor tissue tie-dye unit. So the first thing you need is a sheet of tissue paper. We are using white for this, but you could certainly experiment with other colors. We are also using a square sheet of tissue paper, but I have done this with rectangular paper in the past. You can create a square if you have a rectangular sheet of paper by using an origami fold to create the square and then cutting off the excess from the rectangle. You can do a modification fold, which I've done in the past instead of cutting it off. So no need to panic. Have fun experimenting, because I have found that the more times I've taught this, the more we've experimented with different folds and techniques, the more fun we have, and we're always surprised at what we're able to create. So after you have your tissue paper, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to write your name with a Sharpie on the paper. I need you to be careful because tissue paper is very delicate and it will tear. So you're gonna put your name on there in Sharpie. The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to take my left-hand corner, remember it makes the letter L, and I am folding it up to the very top right-hand corner. And I'm gonna take my time to do this nice and neat. You may wanna pause the video until you get it lined up. Once you have it lined up, I want you to press very firmly and get that fold in place. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this bottom right-hand corner and I am going to fold it up to the left-hand side. Take your time when you do your folds. There's no need to rush. Press very firmly because those folds are super important in creating the design. Okay, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna take the left-hand side and fold it over to the right. Okay, now this is the center of the paper. So if you followed along exactly with me, yours should be in the same exact spot. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this into something that looks like this, okay? So if I unfold this, you'll see that it was the same shape, but it's been folded. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna do every fold to this point here, which is the center of the paper. And that's what creates that starburst effect. Everything's radiating from that center point. Okay, so I'm gonna take it, I have it like this, and I'm gonna press it. So I would encourage you to look at the shape of what I just folded, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is an accordion fold, meaning I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna flip it over on the back, and I'm going to fold the same way, only on the other side. press it very firmly in place. And I'm gonna flip it over again and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so it should look like that. If you pull it open, it should look something similar to this with 1, 2, 3 folds. If you've done origami, you'll know them as mountain and valley folds. So you can push it back together and you're gonna set it aside until it's time to dye it.